Damn, thank God I'm fly. Thank God I'm fly. Thank God I'm fly. You call it cocky, I call it true.
Hello, welcome to my channel. In today's video we're talking about nmixx outfits, and yes, I'm fully aware that by now Dash was released in January, and that the promotions ended more than a month ago, but I was working on this video as the era was happening. However, I kept getting busy with life, and now almost 2 months later, I had half of the video done, so instead of ditching it entirely I decided to finish it, so I hope you don't mind that this is coming so late. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Disclaimer. I am a fashion enthusiast and I studied fashion design in university. However, fashion is subjective. What I might think it's pretty, someone else might hate it, and it's completely okay. This isn't meant to be taken too seriously, and I'm only doing it for fun. I'm only talking about the outfits, not the people wearing them. My thoughts on the clothing are just that, on the clothing, so I hope no one misunderstands it.
Dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it. Dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it.
When I do these type of videos I usually go one by one on the outfits they wore during the whole era. However, in this instance the girls wore multiple of the same look just in different colors, so it would be so redundant if I say the same things each time, so for time's sake and to not bore you, I divided the ranking in 3 main categories of outfits.
Dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it. Dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run.
The first type of outfit we have is this all black look. The girls are all wearing the same basic pieces, the bomber cropped jacket, the cargo pants, and the beret. However, I like how their styling team tried to make it slightly different by not all of them wearing the same black top underneath. It's literally just 2 of them wearing a different one, so it would have been even better if all of them had a different black top. When I first saw a picture of this look I thought that it looked nice, but it was quite boring. However, when I actually watched the music show performance my opinion changed. All the girls wore the same shoes, those being these red sneakers that added an amazing pop of color to the look. They looked so good on camera, and it might be such a small detail to some people, but it for sure elevated the outfits for me. This look as a whole is really simple, all black with all the girls wearing the same thing, and the clothing pieces not being anything special. I do think that little details made the final look more interesting, like the satin fabric makes everything more eye-catching because of how good the light reflects on it. The silver details on the clothing helped break the all-black look a bit. I also like the beret as an accessory, and like I said before, the shoes. It was still a pretty forgettable look, but nothing horrendous, so this is a 7.5 out of 10 for me, and I'm not going rank the outfits because they are all wearing the same thing. Later, the girls wore exactly the same look but in white. This time there wasn't any diversity with the tops, but the hair accessories were different. Jiwoo and Kyujin wore these really cool white head scarves with some pretty dangling jewelry, and Sul-yoon had white ribbon on her hair. I wished their stylist would have been more creative with the rest of the girls' hair, since a good hairstyle can make your look go from a 4 to a 10. Just as like the previous look, the girls had a pop of color with the shoes. This time they were in a bright blue that looked really good on camera. The outfits looked good while they were performing, but I think it's because of the set. The colors matched and popped off because the set was cool and had lots of lights. If you take the set out, I don't think the outfits would have looked that great. The satin fabric didn't pop off as well on camera as the previous look because white isn't as eye-catching as other colors. 7 out of 10. Next, the girls wore the same outfits again but in a brown color. This time the satin fabric does pop off more in camera because of the color, but I still think they could have chosen a brighter shade that just looked impactful on its own. The brown color isn't bad, but it's a bit of a muted color. The pop of color in the look still remained, this time in white, and although it looked good, it for sure isn't near impactful like the previous ones. Maybe bright yellow sneakers would have worked better. The pop of metal in the clothes were gold instead of silver, which I like since gold for sure matches the brown color so much more. The accessories were also in gold, but they were so minimal that only looking at the girls up close you would notice them. The hairstyles were also as before, fine but nothing exciting. At this point this type of look is getting boring because we've seen it before and it isn't adding anything new. 7 out of 10. Then, the girls wore the same outfits again, but this time in a blue color, and for sure this is my favorite out of all of them. The clothing pieces were essentially the same as before, although in this instance the top part of the matching set was more of a cropped shirt than a jacket, but definitely the main element of difference was all the silver little details the clothing had. The shirts had silver cross-hanging pins that matched the silver buttons and the silver chains on the pants. I love how the hairstyles were more intricate in this look, and they also matched the silver elements in the clothing. We also got the same pop of color in the shoes, this time in red, and it worked so well with the blue fabric. The silver elements for sure elevated the outfits so much, and this is exactly what I was wanting since the first look we talked about. They of course could make this possible, so why not do it since the first look they wore? Of course, this is a 10 out of 10. Then, the girls wore these all-black outfits. They aren't the same as the previous one, but they were monochromatic too. All of them wore these really cool leather jumpsuits with black cowboy hats that said dash. I wouldn't have thought that these jumpsuits would go with this song specifically, but they worked really well. Of course we have the same pop of color with the shoes, this time being in red, and once again, they looked really cool. I don't love how the only differences in their looks are their hair and some of the minimal accessories they wore. Their styling team could have given them the exact same outfits but still be creative with the accessories for each member, so there would still be an element of individuality within the look. 7.5 out of 10. Then, the girls wore this all-white look. This one is completely different look from the ones we've talked about before, but it does have some similarities to some looks we'll talk later in the video, but because it's a monochromatic look it belongs in this section. The girls wore these off-white super baggy sweaters and sweater vests underneath white oversized t-shirts, and they paired them with white skirts and white shoes. The chunky pieces are definitely the main element in the look. They are so eye-catching just by their silhouette alone, but I love the ribbon details all of them have, and I love even more how it's different for each specific look. The accessories for the look are so quirky, but I absolutely love them. The furry plushies are kinda ugly but in the cutest way possible, and I love how each one is decorated differently. I also love the hair accessories so freaking much. They are all different and added so much to each individual look. The socks were also a nice touch to the look, and although on camera they all looked the same, they are actually all different. Another small detail that I loved was Lily's wings, such a quirky accessory, but I loved it. This look was completely different from what we've seen before, but it was so cute in every aspect, and I really like how their styling team actually got creative with the accessories. Of course, 10 out of 10. The satin outfits were cute, but quite boring because there wasn't anything exciting or unique about them, although I did really like the blue look. They should have been more creative, because the outfits just weren't impactful enough, and the Dash era for sure won't be remembered for any of these looks. The leather look was different clothing-wise to the satin looks, but it was the same in the aspect of the clothing being a bit boring and uninteresting. I liked the hats and the shoes, but the whole look needed a ton more of accessories. The white look we talked about last was amazing though, and I don't have a single complaint about it. These outfits as a whole are an 8 out of 10, and that's the blue and white sweater look carrying that score.
Dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it. Dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run.
Next, we have the section of the outfits that I personally like to call print outfits. The first one of them is their showcase look, where they wore these red and black outfits. I of course really like the color palette. You can never go wrong with a red and black color combo, and the striped print gives me a bit of a punkish vibe, especially when it's mixed with black and leather, but aside that, there's not much else I like. The outfit isn't awful, don't get me wrong, but it's lacking a lot in multiple aspects, so by the end it leaves me wanting more. Some of the clothing pieces the girls wore are a bit outdated, so the look ends up being so forgettable. More interesting pieces and more eye-catching accessories would have elevated the look so much. I don't love how their styling team always gives the girls super simple accessories and minimal jewelry that you can't see it unless you're super up close and personal with the girls. Like, give me more, goddammit. 6 out of 10. Next, we have this look. It's pretty similar to the previous one in the sense that there are multiple elements in common, however, it's not exactly the same. The silhouette for each one of the girls' outfits is basically the same, up to the print placement, but unlike the previous look, this one plays a bit more with textures. The furry pieces add a lot visually, and the leather being more present is also nice. The clothing pieces aren't that groundbreaking, just your regular schmegular clothing pieces. However, their styling team made everything 100 times better by really taking advantage of the accessories. Not only they played with more bold jewelry and even gave some of the girls fake piercings, but the beanies are so nice and match the striped print so perfectly. The tights some of the girls are wearing are amazing, and they even gave Kyujin a freaking wig. This look is definitely an upgrade from the previous one. 9 out of 10. Next, we have this red look, and like I said earlier, I love any color combination that includes red, so I automatically like this one just by that fact. The clothing pieces, once again, aren't anything special, although I do like how they styled some of them, like I love Kyujin's open shirt with the low-rise jeans and the red leather vest, and Hwan and Lily's baby tee over the long-sleeved white-collared shirt. The clothing itself as it is in the look is nice. I like the work their styling team did, however, once again, my issue it's with the lack of accessories. It isn't like the girls aren't wearing any accessories, but the ones they are wearing aren't enough to pull off the entire look. They were missing more eye-catching jewelry, and actually the girls wore this same outfit twice. In the first instance it looked so simple, but the second time they made it better by adding more jewelry and playing with different hairstyles, but it still wasn't enough. This look could have also benefited from the striped print that has been present in the previous looks, like imagine if Lily's red t-shirt and the denim pieces had that striped print, it automatically would have made the look a bit better. 7 out of 10. Next, we have these pink and brown outfits. I never in a million years would have thought of putting these two colors together in an outfit, but it somehow works amazingly, and it's a bit random but their looks actually reminds me of chocolate that has strawberry flavor inside. Like I always say, the look could have been better if the stylists gave the girls more interesting and eye-catching accessories, especially jewelry, however, is not a deal breaker for me in this instance because the clothing pieces, although not groundbreaking when it comes to their design, they still hold up really well on their own. The print being present in every single look also makes the whole thing more visually enticing, and the aspect I love the most is that the girls had amazing hairstyles that elevated their own individual look. The girls wore this same look twice, and between both of those instances only one of the girls had their hair down without any hair accessory. This look actually reminds me a lot of this green and black look we talked about earlier because of the use of different textures in the clothing and because of how present is the striped print. This look is a 9.5 out of 10 for me. And last for this part of the outfits, we have this look. The girls wore these outfits for their It's Live performance, and it was such a missed opportunity that they didn't wear them again in a music show performance because they are amazing. Unlike basically all of the other outfits we've talked earlier, this look actually has interesting and intriguing pieces like Kyujin and Hwan's pants, and Bae and Sulyoon's shoes. Not only that, but they played really well with the accessories, although I still want more eye-catching jewelry. They also gave the girls interesting hairstyles, and the way they played with layering and incorporated the striped print was also really cool. This shows that their styling team are fully capable of delivering an amazing and memorable look. So what happened with all the previous looks we talked about? Like, give me more of this please and thank you. 10 out of 10. The outfit in this section were cute. I like how they all mixed white and black pieces with a different color each time, and the addition of the striped print was cool. Some of them gave me a punkish vibe, like I said before, but I think it would have been so much better if their styling team actually went all punk aesthetic for this comeback, since I personally think I would have matched the song really well. However, what we actually got wasn't completely terrible. There wasn't a single time when I think one of the girls was done terrible or that the entire look was hideous. However, I sometimes prefer stylists going bold and me not liking the look, than keeping it safe and the result being boring, which is exactly what happened in this instance. The looks weren't bad, but they definitely left me wanting a lot more from them. These outfits as a whole are an 8.3 out of 10.
Dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it. Dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run.
Next, we have the last section of looks for this era, and in they are the black and white outfits. The first we have is this one, and this is the exact same outfit as this one we talked about before, but in a white and black color palette instead. The girls actually wore this one first, but they are exactly the same, except that the top part of Hwan's outfit is different, but aside that, everything is the same. Just like I said with the other outfit previously, I like the styling of the outfit, the color combo is nice, and the girls don't look bad, but it feels like there's something missing. Some print in the look would have been amazing, and of course, more eye-catching accessories, especially jewelry, although I do like the headbands two of the girls wore with this look. The girls had a colorful set for this performance, so even if the outfit was lacking a bit, I didn't show that much on camera because the set did a lot of the heavy lifting. But at last, this is an 8 out of 10. Next, we have this look. I'm a bit conflicted on this one because I really like some aspects of it but also dislike others. I like how some of the clothing pieces were really cool, like Jiwoo's skirt and Kyojin's big shorts, but also at the same time, Hwin and Kyujin wore all black looks that blended way too much into the background. It also has a lot to do with the fact that the graphics on the screens were dark for the most part, so them wearing all black was a recipe for them to not stand out. Their looks could have been better with some print in it, like Lily's look is predominantly black but because she has the print she doesn't blend as much. The accessories were also lacking. Aside from some belts and small jewelry, the girls didn't wear any. More silver elements in the look would have been amazing, especially in the form of some hair accessories. This look had so much potential to be one of the best in the era but it didn't deliver as well as it could have, so this is a 6 out of 10. Next, we have this look, and just like all the previous ones, the color palette consists of black and white but this time we have an element of all the black pieces having this small vertical strip print. All of the printed pieces are heavily inspired in traditional tailored clothing but with a twist in their design, which I absolutely love. The white pieces they paired them with are pretty simple, allowing the printed pieces to be the main element in the look, although I do appreciate the printed tees some of the girls wore. The clothes by themselves are amazing, but the accessories aren't bad at all in this look. I like how their styling team played with their hair, giving accessories to some of the girls that for sure elevated their look. The silver jewelry complemented the look really well, and I like how all of them had a silver key attached to their look. It's a small detail, but I like the consistency. As a whole I really like the look as it is, but if it were up to me I would have added more bold jewelry, but that's just me being extra because as it is completely fine. 10 out of 10. Next, we have this look. This one is mostly white with some bits of black here and there, and it's for sure the one that's giving me the most punk vibes out of all the looks in the era. I think it's because of the distressed clothing pieces, the hair highlight extensions, the pins and studs as accessories, and the chokers. I actually really like this look and I wished more of the era's looks were like this one. The clothing pieces the girls wore are nice, nothing groundbreaking when it comes to design or silhouette, but the layering added so much to the look, and the real main element in the look were the accessories. They for sure didn't hold back for this look. The girls are wearing more eye-catching jewelry, bolder accessories for the clothing, and although small, the hair accessories looked amazing. There isn't anything I dislike about this look, so of course this is a 10 out of 10. And last, but not least, for the final outfit in the video we have this one. This look isn't actually black and white but rather black and gray, however, this felt like the most fitting place to put it in. The girls wore these gray cargo pants with black tops, black belts, and the same dangling silver keys. The tops were all different silhouette-wise and some of them had interesting textures, however, from the waist down the outfits were the exact same, which made the whole look a bit boring. There isn't much variety in the look, and I'm personally not the biggest fan when all the members in a group wear the exact same outfit. Some eye-catching accessories would have helped to make the outfits more interesting, however, the actual accessories they wore were simple and you could only see them up close. Their styling team did give some of the girls interesting hairstyles, which is good, but aside that, there isn't much to the look. The whole thing is simple, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's also boring, which is not great. And I just realized that this isn't the best outfit to end the video with because it's kind of bland, but what else can we do? 5 out of 10. Looks entirely in black and white can be tricky because it's a pretty simple color palette, so the stylists really have to pick interesting pieces, play with layering, and take full advantage of the accessories so the look wouldn't be boring. Some of the looks we talked about previously achieved that, but unfortunately most didn't. Like all the outfits in the era, they lacked accessories and interesting pieces. But at last, these black and white outfits are a 7.8 out of 10.
Dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it. Dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it.
Dash was quite the era style-wise. It wasn't awful but it definitely could have been much better. I know that by now I sound like a broken record, but more accessories would have been amazing, and I also wish their styling team got a lot more creative with the clothing pieces they choose for the girls. All of the outfits in this era could have benefited from those two things because the whole styling had so much potential, and with the sound of the song the outfits could have been so cool and make an era memorable because of the looks. There wasn't a single girl that looked horrible during the era. All of them looked cute with their outfits. However, the best styled in my opinion is Kyujin. She for sure had the most amount of first place in the ranking of the outfits, and the ones that didn't end up as number 1 were still pretty high. The dash styling as a whole is an 8.3 out of 10 for me. And this is my ranking of all the outfits. That was everything for the video. I hope you enjoyed it and didn't mind too much that it was posted so late after the promotions for Dash ended. I'm currently working in some other videos about recent girl group comebacks, and they hopefully won't take as long as this one did, so don't forget to subscribe so you can keep up when I post. If you want to see more of me, you can follow me in my Instagram account. I post K-pop fashion related content and do some games on my stories with outfits idols have worn. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.
I wanna run it.